Right, I've literally just done my introduction video and now I'm doing my Lost Village video back to back, not moved. Just started it again straight away. My introduction one went 14 minutes. I'm not asked how long this one goes. This is going to be me talking shit about Lost Village Festival. The reason why my voice is like this is because of Lost Village Festival. My voice is fucking absolutely fucked, and I've just been what is wrong with me? I've just been talking then for 14 minutes, and the longer it went on, the more I could feel like me having to try. So fuck knows how this one's going to go, but mate, Lost Village Festival, where the fuck do you start with that? What a fucking great time in my life that was. Do you know what the best thing I think was about that is, so from the second I drove into the car park at Lost Village, no signal, none, not a bar. So me and Boob, so our mate Georgia, well my mate Georgia, now our mate Georgia, didn't even know she was going to Lost Village, haven't spoke to her about it or anything. And her two mates dropped out like a couple of days before, and I messaged her, she put a thing on about Lost Village, and I was like, oh my god, we're going to Lost Village, I didn't know you was going. So she said, like, my two mates have dropped out, so I was like, well, like, come and meet us. Our car was already full because my other two mates were jumping in. It was just me and Booth going. We were only the ones who had tickets. We booked it months ago, but never bothered to ask anybody. Kind of subconsciously, I think, because I think like I knew we would have a better time with just us two. I feel like if you go to a festival with a smaller group, you make friends. Do you know what I mean? Like only me, Booth, and Damon, my other mate, went to Zegets last year, and you make friends because there's only three and you have to. So I feel like subconsciously I didn't want anyone else to come, but we did give a lift to my other two mates. Well, one of my mates and his mate, who I just met, but now we are friends because he's fucking sick. Called Spenner, and he was a blue, and he is by far the soundest blue that has ever existed, even sounder than Meg, and Meg's dad, who's also quite sound for a blue. And a brother, no, actually, no, you know what? Probably Meg's brother Liam is probably the soundest blue ever. Purely because he's a blue who knows how shit they are and isn't like cult of Everton. But I didn't speak to Spenner about football, so maybe he also isn't cult of Everton. But yeah, anyway, this Spenner was fucking sound, and he was a blue. But yeah, so Georgia was meeting us there, but then we were all going to camp together, me, her, and Booth. And from the second I got in the campsite, I had no signal, nothing. But I hadn't even give her number to Booth because, like, I didn't think I had to. So I had no signal the whole time I was there, unless I was at the fucking hay barn. And let me tell you, I find myself at the hay barn a few times. But yeah, it was unreal. No signal, no worries, no problems. So glad I never uploaded them fucking shit videos I did first and then went there, because do you know what one thing I've had to like? And my mates, like, Booth laughs. Booth's the main one for laughing about it as well, because he always likens it to it. And obviously I'm not trying to say like I'm remotely like this, but I don't know if any of you have seen it, and I only seen it because of Booth. There's a video of Abracadabra walking through a festival, and his friends are videoing him, and it's when people first start realising he's Abracadabra, and they're all like picture, and then more people are coming up, and then it just gets like ridiculous, and he can't even walk, and all his friends are like, it's happening. So Booth always says, like, with me it's that, and whenever it happens I look in the background and he's laughing his head off. But because I've never done a festival in England, I know I've done like Part Life, and I did not Lost Village, Love Box in London. And even there I got it like a little bit, and that was fucking years ago, probably 2016, 2017. About that anyway. But like obviously now it's probably as big as it's ever been, and Boo will tell you, my friends will tell you, like, I don't like there's people who go, oh, he thinks he's someone, and I don't think I'm someone, and I fucking hate when people come up to me and I'm like, Josh Woos, but I think this festival's made me realise, like, it's going to happen, like, it happened multiple times every day. Do you know such and such a person? Let me send him a selfie, let's have a picture. Josh Woos, I know you off Twitter, people coming up to, we'd just be sat outside our tent, like, not pre-drinking, but drinking, and people would come to the tent and be like, Josh Woos, oh my god, and sit and chat to me. So, like, as much as I don't like it, and I feel like I've never this is I've gone to festivals, like, I've been to festivals in Hungary, Croatia, Portugal, Spain, and it's happened there. But obviously because you're there, it happens like once or twice the whole time you're there. But this was happening daily, every day, throughout the day, and I think it's something I'm just going to have to accept is going to happen now. Obviously I've got such a fucking recognisable face as well, big stupid glasses, big massive black head, questionable hairline nowadays. Bear in mind, my hairline used to be there, by the way. Never had a problem with my hairline. I used to terrorise people for going bald. and now I'm kind of going bald a different way. But anyway, yeah, it happens, and it happens quite a lot, and it's fucking weird. But yeah, don't even know what the point of this was anyway. But yeah, so there was us three, me, Booth, and Georgia went. Do you know what? It's kind of good when you've got a girl with you. Obviously, none of us were trying to get into it because, like, I met Georgia multiple times before, and like we are just like strictly friends, like really good friends. So none of us were trying to get into it, but like having a girl there makes it not just look like there's two like pesty lads. Do you know what I mean? Like we weren't obviously like I've got a girlfriend, I've got a family, I'm happy and everything. We weren't trying to get onto other girls or anything like that, but it just people approach you differently if you've got a girl with you. Do you know what I mean? So it was good. It was a good little free anyway. But I had no signal the whole time I was there, and it was just a fucking sick time, man. Like even doing these videos now, like I'm doing them in such a different state of mind where I'm just like, don't give a fuck. Like who cares what people think about me? But not because anything happened at Lost Village that was spiritual or like no, I didn't do anything there. But I just don't care. Like I'm not arsed now, so. Oh, just Lost Village, man! What a festival from the start, from the time we got there. Like I was like stressing about the fact that we'd get there and it'd be dead hard to get in, and it was not hard to get in. Like we probably queued for 20 minutes straight in. The campsite was packed, but we just were not asked about where we went. We went. To be fair, we went in a spot that was the first night was really bad because we just put our basically just threw our tent. I say threw our tent. It took us 4 hours to get the tent up and 3 different people helping us. But we just put our tent on the like edge, like do you know, like the only just acceptable edge of the campsite. So our back was right to a walkway, and then we realised between like because we got home quite early this first night because Georgia was fucked, and we had to like babysit her. Which is I'm not mourning because anyone who knows me and anyone who's been drinking with me knows enough times like I literally have to get babysat all the time. So we had to come back early. We could have gone back out like the second night. Booth was the same, and we put him in the tent and went back out. Me and Georgia went back out. But first night, I think because we'd travelled, I drove there. Me and Booth stayed up quite late Wednesday. I was still packing at 1:30 in the morning, and then JJ had me up at 6 in the morning. So like, because we was tired, we just went to sleep, which was good because it meant the Friday was even better. Like, because we got up early and went and did stuff on the Friday. But yeah, the Thursday when we got back to our tent between 1 and 2 was a fucking write-off. Like hundreds of. Probably, I guess thousands of people just walking past the tent and talking. Boo got kicked in the head by someone just walking past the tent because we was right on the edge of the walkway. Luckily, the next day, more tents, don't know where they found the room, but more tents went behind us. So then we was like more closed off then. These Irish people, they were the sickest people ever as well. Like they were our proper like festival friends. So that made it better. But yeah, we was in a bad camping spot. But yeah, the Thursday night was just like us three just out like... Do you know, like just buzzing to be out and just buzzing to be there. And then Georgia, we was watching Black Coffee. I've just punched the fucking table. We was watching Black Coffee, and then like Georgia was fine. Then I turned around and she was like, fucked. And she was like, I need to go home. So I was like, all right, come on, let's go back. So we started walking her back, took her back to the tent and that. And we was like, me and Boo was like, should we just go to bed and get up early in the morning and do whatever? So I was like, yeah. So the Friday to me was the best day of the festival. Because we've been to sleep. I don't mean like we'd got back to the tent at like fucking 9:30. I think we got back at like midnight and then was up till like 1:30, 2ish because everyone was walking past. But we woke up super early the next day. I think was up by like 8:30 in the morning and was like, well, so what should we do? Should we go out? And the Friday to me was just the best day ever. So weren't too rough from the Thursday. Got up nice and early. Went on a shower, said, let's go get some food. So I went and got some food. Went everywhere, had huge queues. So I went to a pizza gaff. I don't know if anyone was there. And they went to this pizza gaff on the Thursday. Hands down the worst pizza I've ever had in all my life. By the way, my voice keeps going because it's just fuck. But hands down the worst pizza I've ever had in all my life. Like the worst pizza of all time. That's why they deserve what happened to them later with me and the pizzas. But the worst pizza of all time ever. And what had happened on the Thursday night is Booth had snuck a litre of wine into the arena bit, but then Georgia told him like, you can't be walking around with a litre bottle of wine on you because you'll get it took off you, because it was in I think it was Ribena or Rubicon raspberry bottle because it was rosé wine. So we stashed this bottle of wine in the arena bit, and he filled a cup like a pint up of it, and then we stashed the rest of it. So then the Friday when we've had our food, we're like, should we go and get your wine? So we went, and the bit was closed where we'd stashed it and we got told, well, they said it would be opening soon. So I was like, well, come on, let's just go in. We'll go in the arena and see what's up. So best time ever. We was just bouncing around the forest and the main stages and all the food court things that were closed. And you're just like getting a gauge of it. Like the forest at night, anyone who's been to Lost Village, you can get, it's not even big, but you can get lost in there. Like it's complicated and stuff. And we did it all during the day and got our bones about it on the Friday. I don't know why we never did it again. I think possibly it was just too rough to do it. But the Friday was the only time where during the day we was drinking, enjoying ourselves, going around, bouncing around stage to stage. You'd have like some just random DJ. I couldn't tell you any of the names who was on during the day. Like who's playing the fucking 1 p.m. slot at one of these small stages at a festival, do you know what I mean? But we was like bouncing from stage to stage. And it was just the fucking sickest time ever, honestly. It was just such a great time. It got to about 4 in the afternoon. I was like, should we go back to the tent now, have a shower? And I was still in the same, well, I think all of us were still in the same clothes from yesterday. Should we go and have a shower, get ready, have a few drinks, and then we'll head back out? So we did that. So I went back to the tent. That's when oh no, it already happened on Thursday. Thursday was the first time when someone came up to me like, hey, you Josh Rooks off Twitter? Blah. Anyway, Friday, we went back to the tent, we've got a shower. Do you know what makes me laugh about the Friday? Booth came with me and Georgia to the showers and queued with us in a shower and didn't get one. We both got one, got all fresh, went back to the tent and he just stayed in the same clothes. We laugh about it because the next day was when he finally changed his boxers, but it doesn't matter because you're at a festival. So then Friday night we went out, all three of us have gone out, and who did we watch Friday night? Do you know what we watched? 3 acts maybe the whole time was there. Like we weren't watching it, we just was bouncing around and going stage to stage and just like it was just the sickest. So Friday night, was Friday night the hair band night? It must have been, yeah, because Georgia went home on Sunday. Oh my god, it was. So Friday we've all gone out and we was watching Ben UFO. Oh my god, Ben UFO. We only watched the last hour. He was on for like 2 hours, but we caught the last hour of his set. How do you explain a Ben UFO set? One of the best hours ever. You're going from just genre to genre, or just unreal anyway. So after that set, Boo was fucked, couldn't walk, and he was saying, I'm staying out, where are we going? But he was just a liability, so I was like, right, come on, let's take Boo back to the tent and we'll go back out. Me and George was like, we wanted to go back out, so it took us probably 45 minutes to get Boov to get him back to the tent. And it always makes me laugh because as we was walking back to the tent with him, he was going, I don't want to fucking go home, I want to stay out and all this. And then some ginger girl and her mate walked past us and was like, oh my god, the medical tent's just up there if you want to take him to the medical tent. And Boov's obviously heard this and was like, if people are saying take me to the medical tent, I must be bad. So he was like, oh, do you know what? Yeah, we'll probably get my head down. Because we were selling it as, go and get your head down. We're going back out. It's only early. It was only like 11 o'clock, half 11. Whenever Ben UFO's set finished, someone can go and check that out. So go and get your head down. Either sleep it in, we'll see you in the morning, or if you wake up, ring us, we'll come get you, or you can come meet us, like, you know what I mean? So then after these people were like, take him to the medical tent, he was like, sort of agreement then, yeah, he'll go and get his head done. So we dropped him off at the tent, me and George got back out. It can't have been, we went and got a cheeseburger first. Me and George went and got a fucking cheeseburger from some little stand first, and like the woman had music on. So anyway, we ended up going back out, we're in some little gaff. But whilst we were getting the cheeseburger, the two lads who we gave a lift to, Orbit and Spenner, we seen them there, and Orbit was in a bad way, and I was like talking him into going to bed, saying like, there's no shame in going to bed, wake up the next morning, crack on, and he finally was like, yeah. So we give Spenner, because I had no signal, everyone who met me there took my friend's numbers, we give Spenner George's number, and was like, ring us when you want to come back out and we'll come and meet you. So George's phone goes off, and obviously we assume it's Spenner, so I say, pass me the phone. Had I known it was Boov, I'd have just said, you speak to him like your friends know. So anyway, I get the phone and I'm like in this venue and I can't hear anything, and I'm walking out going, Spenner, and then when I get outside I just go, Woos, where are you? And it's a Bolton accent. I'm like, oh my god, is that Boov? It's been about 45 minutes. He's like, yeah, I've just woke up, like, where are you? I said, oh, we're out, me and George are out, like, what's up? George was like, I've never told Boov this, but he won't mind. George was like, nah, we're not going back getting him, he'll be fucked. And I was like, do you know what, he sounds okay on the phone. So I talked Georgia into going back and getting him. So we walked back we're telling Boov to come and meet us, but realistically that wouldn't have worked. So we're like, come on, let's just go back to the tent, we'll get him and we'll come back out. It'll be better, there'll be 3 of us, we'll have a better time. When we get to the tent, think Georgia had seen the opportunity, to slope. She was like, listen, now he's out with you, and it's not just you on your own. Like, I might go to bed. So Georgia goes to bed. So me and Boo, so me and Boo go back out, yeah. Fucking hell. So we don't know anyone who's on. No, I haven't checked a single set time. I don't have a clue what's going on. So we're just bouncing place to place. Like, but we already know our bearings from being there earlier in the day and walking around. So we do know that when we hit something, that this is where something else is. So we'd seen a house that plays, like, it's just a little tiny, like, abandoned, almost like burnt out house in the middle of the forest. And we liked it during the day there because it was quiet. And that's what I was like, should we go back to that house? So we went to the house for ages. And that's where we seen, like, met a couple of people who, do you know what makes me laugh? We met a guy there who was like, Josh Woog's off Twitter, and he was giving me a bit of shit, and his mate kept apologising, saying, oh, he's just a dickhead, like, he's had a drink and that and all this. And I was like, yeah, man. And then his mate was ginger and dead, like, proper sound, and he was like, had a little funky dance about him. So I was like, oh, mate, you're so cool, you're so cool, you're such a cool guy. And he was like, yeah, but my boyfriend's over there. And like, I was like, what? Never thought nothing of it. And it was only when, so that couldn't have been Friday, because Georgia was the one who told us they were a couple. Oh, well, maybe that was Thursday. Maybe I'm getting my days wrong anyway. Me and Booth, anyway, are bouncing around the fucking festival, just us two going stage to stage, going to the plane, going to, like, getting drinks, stage. Anyway, it gets to about 2 a.m, and there's an orange, what's that orange gin thing? It's not Tancred, it's another one, and it's orange gin, and it's a tree. Anyway, there was a tent that sold just gin cocktails and just gin drinks, and we'd been there Thursday night and got like a couple of good pictures and had a little dance, and that was on the couches. So me and Booth go back on the Friday night, and we're in there. But when we get there this time, so it's open, it's an open tent, but when we get there this time, the sides are down except the entrance. So we go in, and I'm having a big fucking dance, Booth's having a dance, we're getting drinks and that, and then we're waiting for a coach to come available, because there's all different coaches and stuff, and like seating areas, waiting for one to come available. And as we're waiting, there was what makes me even laugh now when I think about back at it. So there was a lad there, and he was a big black guy, and he had a green leather vest on but open, and Booth was like, he is the king of Nigeria, you're not the king of Nigeria, it's him now. And I was like, yeah, listen, he is the king of Nigeria. Anyway, so about 30 people start jumping on this picture, all jumping in the coach, everyone gets jumping in. So me and Booth jump in, and they're taking the picture, and the guy and the guy taking the picture goes, on 3, shout gay. And everyone goes 1, 2, 3, and everyone goes gay. And me and Booth are like, whoa. So and then like a light bulb goes off. So I look around this orange gaff. Bear in mind, this is the third time, because we'd been there as a free before earlier that night on Friday night, and got drinks and that, and didn't realise they only played like Brazilian salsa stuff. There's a video from Friday night, from earlier that Friday night when we was as a free, of me dancing on my own, like fucking proper going for it. To this Brazilian music while them two are sat down. And then when you looked around after they said like shout gay on 3, you're like, whoa, like this is a serious like gay club, this. Like everybody was gay. And if you look at the pictures that I've uploaded since where we're in this gaff, there's the one where I'm doing the shmoney, and there's one where I think it's just me and Booth stood to like look around, there's like guys in suspenders, and it's the gayest club of all time. Like, listen, do you know what I mean? No problem with it, but yeah. So I was like, Booth, come on, mate, this is a bit much. We're looking around, like, and Booth was the same. Like, when you look on the coaches, like, people are, like, necking, they've got legs over each other, like, people on the dance floor. It was just, like, a really gay club, and it was late. It was, like, 2 a.m, so I was like, come on, let's go. So we left. And bear in mind, we hadn't been to the hair barn before. How do we not know? We hadn't been to the hair barn before. Only I'd been to the hair barn because the first night something had happened with my dad, and I needed to go and get Wi-Fi to speak to him. So I went to the hair barn to get Wi-Fi, and them two stayed in the orange gaff. They faced each other. So me and Booth, we come out of this orange gaff. We didn't plan to go to the hair barn, and we can just hear Britney Spears playing, and we're looking, it's fucking booming, the same bar. We're like, oh my God, they're playing Britney Spears, come on, let's go in. It was, oh baby, baby. So we run in anyway, run in this hair bar, and it's fucking sick, it's booming, it's packed. They're playing Britney Spears, so we're having a dance to Britney Spears. Britney Spears finishes, Miley Cyrus comes on, then Toxic by Britney Spears follows, Wrecking Ball by Miley Cyrus. We're having the best time ever, boobs on the hair stacks, dancing. I'm dancing, the best time. Just the sickest night, because it wasn't a DJ, it was just someone blatantly with a foot, because sometimes, like when I'm in the car, they'd get excited and turn like a 6 song off 1 minute in, but sometimes they'd let the song finish and it wouldn't mix, it'd just start another song. They had Drake, Miley Cyrus, like I said, George Michael, everything, all the pop songs, the best. It was just the best ever, yeah. And I get a mess at these festivals, and I'm like, I would never, like, I don't chat to girls, I don't flirt with girls, I'm not that sort of, like, I just have a laugh with my mates, I'm not that sort of person. But in this fucking hair band, mate, there was girls, people were telling me to get on there. There was this girl who was next to Booth, she was like dancing to me, and I'm like looking at her, like sort of like dancing back, like, and she's like saying, come on, the fucking hairstyle. And there was another guy who was with, obviously, who I thought was a boyfriend, and like, I guess you all know where this is going. And we were dancing and stuff, and me and Boo were there for like 2 hours having like the best time ever. So then we leave there, it's about 3:30 in the morning, whatever. And I'm like to Boo, like, how sick was it in there? Like, what an atmosphere, like, then so nice, everyone was so nice. And he's like, yeah, I know. Anyway, we go back to the tent, and we're going, I can't wait to take Georgia back to the hair barn the next day. The hair barn. The fucking hair barn. That was his name. Look at the pictures, the hair barn. So we're like, we get back that night, go to sleep. The next morning we wake up and we're like, oh my God, George, you would have loved this place we found last night. The hair barn, it's called. They were playing Britney Spears, Miley Cyrus, George Michael, Queen, ABBA. Oh, the best. I was saying to her, like, not once this festival have I tried to crack on with girls. I had girls in there just like cracking on with me, telling me to come and dance with them on the hair stacks and everything. Georgia hasn't even thought anything of this. She's just like, oh my God, yeah, let's go tonight. So, fucking hell. So Saturday night comes, it's Georgia's last night, we go out. Oh my God. Peggy was on Sunday, so we didn't know anyone was watching Saturday at all. We didn't have a clue. We'd said we would watch Bonobo with these Irish people. We'd seen Bonobo in Hungary, and he is really good. So we said we'd watch him, but we missed that. Like, completely missed it. So I was like, come on, let's go to the hair barn. Probably about 11 o'clock. So we goes to the hair barn, and it's dead. It's not as busy as it was at fucking 2:30 in the morning, funny enough. Bear in mind, the hair barn is the only place that's got Wi-Fi. It's the only place in the whole festival that has a Wi-Fi zone, which you can understand why, I'm guessing. So we take George to the fucking hair barn when it's not like rammed like it was the night before. The hair barn. And we're fucking looking round. Everything is either hair or pink. That's it. It's hair or it's pink. There's flags everywhere. The people that were in there were just looking around. And George was like, you do know this is like blatantly a gay tent, don't you? Me and Boo were like, what? What do you mean? And we're looking around, and there's lads in cowboy boots, suspenders, dungarees, pink hats. The whole decor is just haystacks, pink, and flags. They're playing George Michael, they're playing Queen, they're playing, like I said, ABBA. I was looking around thinking, yeah, how the fuck did we not know the fucking hair barn? Bear in mind, think about me and Boo the night before. We're in this fucking orange gin gaff, and someone says on Free Shout, yeah, we're looking around, there's people basically shagging each other on these couches. There's like, it's just the gayest place ever. Me and Boo were like, yeah, come on, Boo, fuck all this fucking gay shit in here. Let's go to the fucking hair barn, mate, and spend 2 hours in the fucking hair barn. Oh my God. Once you knew, you could not know. Like, we're looking around, and there's people in silver hats, silver lycra, leather jackets, waistcoats. Oh my God, the fucking hair barn, man. Me and Boo, I'm not trying to say I'm good looking, obviously I'm one of the weirdest looking guys ever, but think me and Boo was in a grey Nike hoodie because it had rained with a hood up. I was in an Amsterdam hoodie that I had to get in Amsterdam because it was freezing cold. It's got all little coloured bikes on it and it says Amsterdam. In the fucked. Booth kept falling off. People must have been fighting over licking the lips. These two chavvy fucking lads in here. Oh, the fucking hair barn. How did we not know the hair barn? The hair barn. The hair barn. Not. It's the most play on words of all time. Oh, the hair barn, man. We still went back on the Sunday when Georgia had gone home. It was because it was sick. They had the best tunes on and the atmosphere was sick. And listen, you weren't going to get fucking jumped in the hair barn, let me fucking tell you. Oh, the hair barn. I'll never forget it. Once it clicked. And it's like, the hair barn, fucking directly facing the gayest, like, orange gin fucking place of all time. Listen, I'm going back to that festival next year and I will be back in the hair barn and I'll be back in the orange place. Nothing like, I say the gayest, and it probably sounds like I'm being dead bad, but lad, it was fucking sick. It was the best ever, but yeah, the hair barn, fuck me. So then, that Saturday night, we didn't see anybody Saturday night. Like, we seen Black Coffee for 15 minutes. George said she needed to go. We did watch Ben UFO for an hour and he was this fucking sickest. And we watched... George wasn't in there, me and Boo. We obviously watched people's sets. Like, we'd watch an hour at the house or we'd watch an hour at the junkyard set and that. But we wouldn't know who was watching. It's just like, well, this is sick, let's stay here for a bit. And we watched 10 minutes of, what's her name, Peggy Goo. That was it, like, that 3 acts we watched. That was a Saturday, so Sunday Georgia left us, fucked off because she had work on the Monday. It was sad, mate, which wasn't the same. Sunday me and Booth went out, fucked again, mooched around again, didn't watch 10 minutes of Peggy, spent a lot of time in the hair bar. We just kept finding ourselves back in the hair. I think because obviously by then I had no signal and I wanted signal and I wanted to talk to Meg and I wanted to talk to my mum and not my mum but like talk to my family and just catch up. And it sounds like why can't you go 4 days without social media, but like I wanted to catch up on social media, so we would find ourselves in the hair barn a bit on the Sunday. And then Monday got up and like wasn't hard to get out. There was no I was the driver. I did proper shit out of my way out of that car park. Like I was driving through cars in the car park and got us right to the front. We got out in about 15-20 minutes when people definitely queued hours, but that was on the Monday. But yeah, just, I know this is like a really bad review. I'm 27 minutes there and I've just talked shit, but yeah, just like one of the sickest. I can't wait to go next year. Like I've never been to Glasgow and I know people who've gone to Glasgow, like, see, I can't say I nearly said his real name then. Round the Bend, that's another thing. Round the Bend, hey, do you know my friend Round the Bend? When I should just be able to say his name. But yeah, anyway. So, like, Round the Bend and Louis and that, like, well, like, they're staunch. Glasgow's the best festival ever. And I'm not here to disagree. I assume Glastonbury is the best festival ever. Lost Village is like, you could do the whole Lost Village festival in 1 hour's walking, whereas Glasgow you can't. Like, it's like a village, and it's like not a village, it's like a fucking town, like a little city. So I'm not here to argue that Lost Village is better than Glastonbury, but like when you get to my age, and not being me, I'm not anybody, but like the way I'm like quite a knobhead online and stuff. Like when you go to somewhere like Lost Village, where it's just as like the closest person in you are to someone who's like Aggie in Lost Village is Creamfield's 160 miles away. Like I promise you, like the best. And when you get there, I'm not trying to. I feel like once you're in on it and you know what it's all about. Like when you get in this plane and you're in the cockpit of the plane and the fucking what they call the steering wheel for the plane drive. When you push it in, both push in and push out at the same time. Like, and it's like, and that the toilets are like. The communal toilets in the junkyard are like the steps up to them and there's hanging. I don't know. Once you're in on the joke, I feel like once you're in on the joke, which we got in on the joke on the Sunday, you'd have to go. I'm not going to ruin it, but you'd have to go, and it's just the best atmosphere of all time. Like no aggravation, no problems, no stress, not a single knobhead there. I didn't see a fight, didn't see an argument. Like I bounce round, I'm like quite like not spatial aware at all. I'm banging into people and no one cares. Like everyone on the campsite's helping you. You're putting your tent up, you're struggling. Just the best festival. That's the first camping festival I've ever done in England. I've never camped in England. I've done Part Life. I did Love Box, but we stayed in a hotel close. I've never camped. It did rain a lot, and you are hiding from the rain, and the rain is fucking definitely not great, don't get me wrong. Like, how wet it is and how, like, slippy the floor gets and how just, like, miserable it is and cold at times and, like, it's cold at night. Like, I've only ever done festival. I've done, like, what I've done, like, 9, 10 festivals abroad, camping abroad. And they're unbelievable, and I've never camped at a festival in England ever before in my life, and it was not great. The campsite's great, like, you meet unbelievable people, and the festival's just one of the best festivals. Like, I can't. All the festivals I've done abroad, so Zegets, we've camped at Zegets on the island for 9 nights camping in 35, 36 degree heat. I've done Benicassil, Miosa d'Est, I've done Roskilde, I've done Hideout, Outlook, like, whatever. This is right up there as one of the best festivals you'll ever do, because of the atmosphere, because of the vibes. You know, I really need a piss, so this video needs to end. Just one of the best festivals ever. I can't believe how good it was. It was unreal. The fucking, just everything. I'll never forget the hair barn, mate. JJ, listen, I'll teach JJ to never go to the hair barn. Nah, that sounds bad, but like, honestly, listen, best festival ever, and I will be back there next year, without a doubt. Like, can't wait. But yeah, just unreal. But I really need a piss, so let's just end this video. It's been half an hour. The first one's like, what, 15 minutes? But yeah, see you later.